Hey there, good Saturday morning. Live Viper 6 radar is dry across the entire CSRA as we start off the weekend on a sunny and dry note. And as we head toward the mid-morning hours, we'll keep it in the mid-70s. Your full forecast is coming up.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, an Augusta murder suspect is on the run. How to help police find the man responsible of a deadly shooting. And the right way to protect your eyes during the solar eclipse. We are breaking it all down. Your Good Morning Augusta starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6. Good Morning Augusta.
Good morning and thank you for joining us on this Good Morning Augusta Saturday edition. I'm Ashley Doss in for Ashley Campbell.
And I'm Katie Reagan, back from some vacation time, so it's great to be back and come back to a place where I don't dread coming to work. I honestly mean that. Good. The weather also not going to be bad this weekend. I know for a couple of schools remain, and this for some kids is their last weekend of the summer. Yes. So I think the forecast is looking quite nice for you guys. Here's a look outside courtesy of our Jiffy Lube Skyview Network camera. Here's Augusta Regional Airport. Winds are clearly light to calm. The American flag there isn't blowing, and a couple of clouds dotting the sky, but otherwise nothing but blue sky as far as you can see. We're starting off in the low to mid 70s as we have for the past couple of days. Anywhere from around 70 in North Augusta to 77 out of Augusta Daniel Field. Aiken right now checking in at 72, Clarks Hill 74, and Grovetown 74. So pretty uniform across the viewing area for temperatures as we get the day started. The same can be said for highs. We'll be topping out in the mid to upper 90s area wide. Our average high this time of year is 92, so a little bit warmer than average, all thanks to that southerly breeze bringing in warm and humid air from the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll be talking about if there's any relief in sight, plus of course how sky conditions are going to be looking for that solar eclipse on Monday. Ashley.
All right, Katie, thanks so much. We'll be on the lookout for that. Well, happening right now on Good Morning Augusta, an Augusta murder suspect is on the loose this morning, and investigators say that Burkees Owen is wanted in the shooting death of Michael Dykes. It happened Thursday night near the intersection of Broad Street and Millage Road. Now, deputies say that Owens may still have the gun that's used in the crime and should be considered armed and dangerous. He's known to hang out in the area of Olmsted Homes, and if you know where he is, you're encouraged to call the police at 706-821-1080. And a Burke County man is in custody this morning after a shootout with police. Now, deputies believe that Colton Thomas is the man involved in the incident, and there is no word on his charges at this time. He is currently in the hospital. And investigators say that Thomas was shot after a shooting at officers on Washington Drive in Waynesboro. Now, it started Friday afternoon when Waynesboro police say that officers and Burke County Sheriff's deputies were called to a shooting on Kingston Drive. They later found the suspect's car behind a home on the 800th block of Washington Drive. Now, this is when they say the shootout began with police. Here is a picture from the sheriff's office. They say that here you can see two sets of suspects' guns near the patrol car and officers who shot back at the suspect. He was then hit, and he is expected to make a full recovery. Now, Richmond County investigators are investigating another murder. This one happened in South Augusta last month. Antonio Collier, known as Choppa, is wanted for the murder in the shooting of Sean Middlebrooks on July 12th, and that was on Rozier Road. Now, Kendall Palmer is already charged with murder in that crime, and Collier is considered armed and dangerous. And more billboards are going up across the city to help locate the body of a missing teenager. Now you can see Latanya Janelle Carwell's picture up on Peachtree Orchard Road near Harold Road. Now, this is the second poster of the child in Augusta. Another one went up last week at 15th and Broad Streets. They were donated by Lamar Advertising, and Carwell has been missing since April 17th. Now, her mother and stepfather are both in jail in connection with her disappearance. And the sheriff and the DA believe that she was murdered, but nobody has found her body. And a single car crash claimed the life of a 21-year-old man in Augusta. The Richmond County coroner says that Jonathan Michael lost control of his Honda Civic on Rozier Road, flipping several times. Now, he died at the hospital, and the coroner says that Cash was wearing his seatbelt, but he may have been speeding. Switching gears now to the Great American Solar Eclipse. We are just 2 days away from the huge historic event. Now all eyes will soon be on the sky to see the moon across the front of the sun. But it's important to have the proper protection to avoid eye damage. Kim Hutcherson explains.
Leading up to the solar eclipse, optometrists like Dr. David Ross are hoping people will avoid past mistakes.
We've had a similar event years ago, and we personally saw 2 patients with what's called solar retinopathy. They had partial burns to the center part of their retinas.
Looking directly at the sun for even a few seconds can lead to temporary or permanent vision loss.
It's truly very strong visible light that actually cooks the cells in the retina.
On top of visible light, the sun's UV rays can also cause cataracts, macular degeneration, or eye cancer. You might not even realize there's a problem.
In the retina, there are no pain receptors, so people who are actually damaging their eyes at the time have no clue that this damage is occurring. Minutes, hours, a couple of days later, they find that their vision is blurred in the center.
Once the damage is done, there's nothing doctors can do.
There is no known approved treatment for the damage that does occur. It's just going to be time and hope.
Dr. James Sowell is an astronomer at the School of Physics at Georgia Tech. He recommends viewing the eclipse through a pinhole projection or buying glasses with dense solar filters.
These special solar glasses are able to block out all light at basically all wavelengths to a point where only the sun is the bright enough object to be seen through these, which is about 10,000 times or so more than a typical pair of sunglasses. So even if you took like 3 or 4 or 5 sunglasses, that's very dangerous.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Now, many of us will be outside, but experts say this is not a good idea for your pets. Veterinarians recommend that your 4-legged friends stay home, and some people could shoot off fireworks or make loud noises. And this could also cause your dog or cat to get scared and run off. Now, doctors do not believe that the animals will look at the sun, but if it were to happen, it could hurt their eyes too.
Dogs and cats' eyes are much more sensitive. They can see in dim light where we can't, so they would expect to have more damage if they look directly at it. So I would recommend the safest thing would keep them at home indoors.
Now, because of the darkness from the eclipse, wildlife may act a bit differently. Vets say your cat, dog, or bird probably will not notice anything. And we hope you will join us at Daniel Field, where myself and the rest of News Channel 6 will be at Augusta Aviation, and they're partnering up for a big eclipse viewing event, and that's on Monday. You can bring a chair along with your own food and drinks, and you are encouraged to bring a shade tent if you have one, just to keep cool. And there will also be a fire truck on site for water activities for the kids, but alcohol and pets are not allowed. Now, the gates for that event will open at 12:30. And we'll have lots of updates and new information on our website about the eclipse. All you have to do is go over to our website at WJBF.com for a timeline on where we will go live, and as well as many other changes. And to get that information on your mobile device, just download our news app to have that information available at your fingertips. Now, local efforts to fight opioid abuse are ramping up. The Hope House and a group called Young People in Recovery hosted a training session earlier this week. Now, it was centered around Narcan, which is an opioid overdose reversal drug that Georgians can buy now over the counter. And an event organizer explained what to look out for before you call for help.
If someone has experienced an overdose, they may have slurred speech, they may look like they're essentially nodding off or falling asleep. Opioids attach to the receptor in the brain that actually tells you to go to sleep, and that's why their breathing will get depressed.
Now, under a law that passed this year, Georgians can buy Narcan over the counter at drugstores. Miller says to call the store first because the overdose reversal sells out fast. And according to the CDC, 6 out of 10 drug overdose deaths involve opioids. Doctors believe that more than 4 times as many people OD'd on prescription painkillers in 2015 than in the year 2000. Now, several states are working on legislature to help with the opioid abuse around the country. Now, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is hosting its 3rd annual Burgers and Shakes event today, and the initiative helps police and the community connect. Now, the Sheriff's Office wants you to come out, meet the staff, and ask any questions, while of course enjoying a free burger and shake, and that is happening at Brookfield Park on Mayo Road from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. And coming up next on Good Morning Augusta, the Confederate monument discussion continues, but this time in South Carolina. What lawmakers had to say about it and what it will take to remove the relics when we return. But first, another check of your forecast with meteorologist Katie.